Welcome in to It's Your Move with me, your host, CEO and founder of DDOE 216 Net. I'm Kent Jones. And of course, It's Your Move is brought to you through the financial support of Mobile Accounting, 224-321-6859, or check them out at www.mobile.tax. Experience, education, character, and inherent ability with numbers. An exceptional CPA. These are the reasons why business owners choose Eric Mason of Mobile Accounting for their bookkeeping and payroll and tax services. Mobile Accounting, 224-321-6859 or www.mobile.tax. Welcome into It's Your Move, another fun Sunday evening. I hope you had a great week. And of course, this show is to give you a little common sense on some topics that are happening out through today and just kind of my take on it. So sit back, relax, let's have a little fun. You might learn something before we're done. Yes. Right on cue, isn't it? The second wave of COVID-19 is rearing its ugly head. Back in March, when we had no idea what it was, the experts said right around November, we'll get a second wave. Look what's happening. States are shutting down businesses again. Kids cannot go to school. Presidential campaigns are stoking the fear of what is the second wave and how it's going to deplete America and its lives, and then how they're going to have a miracle cure, of course, for this virus if they get elected. Please. I mean, all year we have lived in fear of this unknown virus that has accounted for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of American lives. But to live in fear of this may not be necessary, as the numbers don't lie. When I was a little kid, my dad once told me that liars can figure, but figures don't lie. So let's take a look at some numbers to help eliminate some of those fears.
If you haven't got problems, I feel bad for your son. I got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. Tip my hat to the sun in the west. Feel the beat right in my chest. At the crossroads a second time. Make the devil change his mind. It's a pound of flesh, but it's really a ton. 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. If you haven't got problems, I feel bad for your son. I got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Like broken glass under my feet, I can lose my mind in the sea. Looking for the prize, but I don't want blood. All I want drink, then I drink the flood. Well, you can come inside, but your friends can't come. 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. If you haven't got problems, I feel bad for your son. 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. I got 99. 99. 99. 99. Problem, but a bitch ain't one. 99. 99 problem, but a bitch ain't one.
Yes, 99 Problems by Hugo. All right. So let's take a look at some numbers And for our 1.9 million listeners around the world, I've got to focus right here in the United States because it's my backyard. So this may be a little boring for you, but hang in there. The end is what you really want. So let's talk numbers just here in the United States. In 2009, 2.4 million people died that year, just in the United States. In 2018, just a mere 9 years later, that number rose to 2.8 million deaths. Now, that increase, of course, you all aren't goofy. You know, Tim Santos, what's happening? Open enrollment's happening now. Check him out. All right. So the increase in deaths, that many deaths, it's an aging population here in the United States. There's no doubt about that. And then there's, of course, all the underlying health issues that are out there. Now, we can also say that each year, an average of 44,444.44 more American people die. So, with that thinking and easy math here in 2020, we would see a lift of about 88,888.88 million more deaths than in 2018. Does that scare us on a quote unquote normal year? We would have 2,888,888.88 deaths, and yet we wouldn't shut down the economy. We wouldn't shut down schools. We wouldn't get mad at our neighbors for not wearing a mask in a public place. No. We sure wouldn't. We would move on with our lives. We'd shrug our shoulders and accept that those extra 44,444 people are just going to die. Now, we know that 2,888,888.88 people are going to pass this year. That means that of the 200,000 people who have passed with COVID-19, 44,444.44 of those would have died anyway. Now, I am in no way trying to minimize the severity of this virus. I want you to understand that because it is real and it can take lives. Rather, I'm trying to point out that there is no real reason to fear this virus or live in fear because of it. The point is 2.888 million Americans were going to die this year, and that didn't bother us one bit.
Walks further down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of his feet. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Yeah. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. How do you think I'm gonna get along without you when you're gone? You took me for everything that I had and kicked me out of my own. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? How long can you stand the heat? Are you done with the bullets raining to the sound of the beat? Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Hey! Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey. Another one bites the dust. Hey. Ooh, shout. There are many ways that you can hurt a man and bring him to the ground. You can beat him, you can cheat him, you can treat him fair. You leave him when he's down. But I'm ready, yes, I'm ready for you. I'm standing on my own to be. I'm going bullets free. Reason to sound of beast. Oh, yeah. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot out. All right.
Ah, yes, a little queen, another one bites the dust. You know, you can't help but sing along with that song. It's always, always good, right? All right. So before we move on, I just want to make sure that you all know I'm not going to try to compare this virus to the flu. I'm not going to try to compare this virus to another pandemic, perhaps that has gone on at a different time in the world. What I do want to do is I want to talk to you about some numbers and why you should not live in fear of COVID-19, quote unquote, second wave. Okay. And here's why you should never live in fear during this pandemic. Again, how about some numbers? Do you know that more than 38,000 Americans die each year in auto accidents on United States roadways? The U.S. traffic fatality rate is 12.4 deaths per 100,000 inhabitants. An additional 4.4 million are seriously injured each year that require medical attention. Listen to that, 4.4 million are injured that require medical attention. Now, we all know this. We go through a class to learn how to drive. We take driver's education. Key word is education. And yet we are not scared. We don't live in fear of cars and trucks. No. Why? Do you know that the average American spends 10 hours and 50 minutes per week in their vehicle? That is about 572 hours per year and almost 24 calendar days inside your vehicle, where there is an accident every 60 seconds here in America, which equates to about 5 million, about 5.25 million accidents per year. And still, we do crazy things in our vehicles, don't we? 5.25 million accidents each year. Why, pray tell, are we not living in fear? Yet we spend more and more and more time in our vehicles 24 days a year. Here's why. We have blind faith. We trust the engineers that have done everything they could to keep us safe. Airbags coming out of everywhere, side airbags, impact, front, back, um, ABS brakes. We've got lights now that give us sensors that tell us if somebody's in our blind spot. Cameras, so we don't even have to turn our neck to when we go in reverse. We've got self-driving cars. We've got cars that, hey, if we start drifting over to the middle lane, it beep, 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 gives us a little push. Whoa, let's get back. Yes, blind faith in that technology, and we hope, by God, we hope that nothing happens with that technology because we trust our lives and the people's lives on the streets with that. Oh, but yet, we have no idea, what drugs the other drivers are on, how much cocaine, how much heroin, how much pot, how much painkillers, uh, whatever they're on. We don't know with the person coming at us, what kind of day they've had. We don't know how much they've had to drink. We don't know what person is wanting to end their lives by a head-on collision. 5.25 million accidents. We don't know who's distracted by the kid in the back seat, the text that's coming through as they're trying to sext their friend. We don't know. But we still spend almost 11 hours per week in our vehicles. Just think of that. A 2,000-pound death bullet as we're going 60, 70 miles an hour or better. God knows what, eating French fries, and as soon as your mayonnaise and lettuce from your McChicken sandwich falls on your lap and you pull back, you've taken your eyes off the road. You don't know. Brutal. But yet we're not living in fear of these things. Do you know that so far 8.64 million Americans have been diagnosed with COVID-19? 8.64 million, and more each day, right? And some 200,000 Americans have died with COVID-19 on their death certificates. Huh, that's a ton. But why are we living in fear of this? Why this virus? Why this pandemic? Perhaps, maybe just perhaps, it's the powers that be that want us to be scared. They want us to live in fear so we can depend on them. But Kent, we don't know who has it and who doesn't. And you can have it without even having it. So it's really scary. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get it. Do you know, just some more numbers for you? Do you know that 1.2 million Americans are living with HIV, and about 14% of them don't even know that they have it and need testing? It's 1 in every 7. But we don't live in fear of these people. Here's why. We have been educated on that virus and are comfortable knowing how to protect ourselves. So there's no fear. We as Americans do all we can to put ourselves and keep ourselves from attracting HIV, and we do our best to protect ourselves from auto accidents as well. Think about all the PPE that's used now in hospitals. Go back to the 70s and watch some of the shows where they're surgeons and they just have a white coat on, a white doctor's coat on, and they're not even using gloves. They didn't at that time. As soon as they get out of the operating room, doctor's smoking a cigarette. Interesting. But now times have changed. We use PPE to protect ourselves from blood borne viruses, things of that nature. Okay. But I'm not scared of it. At one time, HIV, we were very scared of it. And we thought that if we shook hands with somebody who had HIV, that virus, that perhaps we could catch it as well. But now we're a little bit more educated. Let me ask you a question. How much education have you done on this virus? Or have you just paid attention to social media, the news, mainstream media, those people who continue to push the fear agenda? Have you gone to the CDC? Have you looked at research? Do you understand what's happening with this? Have you educated yourself? Have you educated yourself on this? Chances are probably not. Probably not. Right? So why live in fear? Well, that's a good question. Why live in fear of this virus? It's not a death sentence for everybody. It's just not. We have a 97.3% survival rate here in the United States. 97.3% survival rate. The death rate's going down and down and down and down. But what do we know? We know we're supposed to be scared.
In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. And in the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. When the solid ground is falling out from underneath my feet, between the black skies and my red eyes, I can barely see. When I realize I've been sold out by my friends and my family, I can feel the rain reminding me. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. When my hopes and dreams are far from me and I'm running out of faith, I see the future I picture slowly fade away. And when the tears of pain and heartache are pouring down my face, I find my peace in Jesus' name. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. When the test comes in and the doctor says I've only got a few months left, it's like a bitter pill I'm swallowing. I can barely take a breath. And when addiction steals my baby girl and there's nothing I can do, my only hope is to trust you. I trust you, Lord. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. You remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. In the eye of, in the eye of the storm. I know you're watching me. When the storm is raging, and my hope is gone, when my flesh is failing, you're still holding on. When the storm is raging, and my hope is gone, when the flesh is failing, Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me.
Yes, little Ryan Stevenson featuring Gabriel. Eye of the Storm. One of my favorites. Good stuff. Good stuff. So now, America, it's your move. Here's how not to live in fear during the second wave of COVID-19. Trust each other. Wear your mask and your face shields when you're out in public places. Be aware of physical distancing. Wash your damn hands. And use hand sanitizer when you can. But don't overdo it. Trust that God created your body to heal itself. So eat healthy food. Exercise daily. And keep your immune system high. Trust that our medical professionals will do everything possible to keep you healthy if you attract the virus. Know that right here in America, there is a 97.3% survival rate if you do attract COVID-19. Those are numbers from today. Be smart. If you aren't feeling well, stay home. Keep yourself away from large crowds and where people have the propensity to spit while they're talking loudly. Keep moving your life forward. Go to work. Go shopping to support local small businesses. And know that people are diligently working on a vaccine if you so wish to get a vaccine. And finally, here is the number one thing you have to do to stop living in fear during this pandemic. Stop listening to and believing those people who do not have your best interest at heart. Turn off the news. Find the news yourself. Read it. Understand it. Stop listening to the people who have an agenda. So, what are you going to do? It's your move.